Okay everyone, day 2 just about to begin. It is about 6 a.m. right now, and I gotta say I'm tired. You can already hear my voice. It's only day 2, and I'm already starting to lose my voice, so this might be interesting. I am really hoping, keeping all fingers and toes crossed, that today goes smoothly as well, so I can take a break this afternoon after all of the initial morning check-ins are done. But yeah, we'll see. Men's épée is one of our, or senior men's épée is one of our first events this morning, and we're clocking in at 113 competitors, which I know for my American audience especially will sound tiny, but trust me, this is huge for us. So I am also hoping that a lot of people checked their stuff yesterday in preparation for today, so that there's not quite as mad a dash for the armory this morning. But I have been told that I have a optimism streak, so I'm gonna finish getting myself ready, put my hair up into my braids, and make myself a cup of tea, and then it's time to get on our way. Wish me luck. Morning everyone, so we are here in the gym, day 2. So as you can see, nothing's quite happening yet. A couple of my volunteers are here just doing a little bit of cleanup right now before we get actually going. Doors should open in about 5-10 minutes for all the fencers, and then we will have the mad rush of the line again. So I'm gonna get us all prepped for that, and hopefully things go well.
So, looking at the rush this morning, there's not really much of one. Clearly, a lot of people took advantage of the fact that we were open all day yesterday in order to do check-ins, so they came at that point to get their stuff checked. So, as you can see, while we are pretty steady state in terms of how many people we're getting, we're not really getting the huge lineups like we saw yesterday. So that's always a nice tip for you if you want to avoid any potential rush, is if there's events before you, the day before, you can go try and get your stuff checked in then.
Alright everyone, quick check-in. We have finished the morning check-in for the largest events, and we're through that, which is great. So as you can see, everyone is fencing now. We have had a few reels go down that I fixed. We had one piece that wasn't grounding properly, so I just kicked it back together. Otherwise, it is men's épée. I am expecting to have to kick piece a lot because they tend to move these. So fingers crossed, and I'll bring you along when I can.
So here we had a strip call that, again, the piece was not grounded. Like I just mentioned, men's épée tends to kick these around a lot, so it wasn't surprising. So basically, I'm just asking the fencers to both step off the piece, and the referee is going to stand on the far end for me, just as an anchor point. I am bracing the end piece of the piece just up on a roll of tape, not very far, and then when we're ready, here I am just giving it a couple kicks to try and mash all of the plates back together so that there's really good contact. So the problem when they come ungrounded is when the plates shift slightly enough that there's a large enough gap between the plates that they can't conduct, and so looks like I just have to go to the other end and do the same thing on that side as well. But yeah, this is a pretty quick and easy way to get the piece to all sit nicely back together again so that we can get everybody fencing again.
Okay everyone, so here is the behind the scenes of what we do. So we have this reel here. Basically what it would be doing is anytime it moved on épée, it would spontaneously connect. So Raymond over here has opened it up and has been trying to figure out what it is. And what we're pretty sure it is that there's just a lot of metal shavings inside that have been interfering with these, let me see if I can focus it, these contacts. And then as the motion would cause the shavings to like scatter in here, causing the intermittent green lights. So We've cleaned it out really thoroughly. Raymond's gonna put it back together, and hopefully this solves our problem.
Hopefully. All right, everyone.
Everyone, fingers crossed. So we're seeing no lights. We love it. We should not see anything.
I saw some lights. Not good. Yeah, there's some lights there. Oh no, I saw some lights.
All right.
Yeah, there's some lights.
So still a little bit in there. I guess we'll keep working on it and we'll give you an update. So hi everyone, this is Mark, another one of our armorers here this weekend. So normally we as the tournament armorers do not do repairs, but this is one of our teams, so we're taking a look at it. That's the only time we're allowed to do so. Not quite certain what's going on with it, but hopefully we can get it repaired. Otherwise it'll be a rewire.
I feel like David Attenborough here.
This one's mine. The UTO ones are most likely to work.
Is that why you still have them all?
Yeah.
And continuing on, we have a fencer here that just wants to check body cords for her own security, and since I don't have a line, I am happy to do this. So I'm just checking her cords for her, letting her know which ones are going to work and which one doesn't. And this is just another behind the scenes of what we do while we're between checks and pieced failures. And continuing on with the cord checks, as you can see, I've got them plugged into my machine here, and I am just making sure that everything comes out at the right ohm levels. That's the resistance level in the body cord. You want it to be under 2 ohms, as well as not bouncing whenever I wiggle and near the end. If both of those conditions are met, then the cord is good to use, and if not, I hand it back to the fencer with my diagnosis of what is wrong, so that they can get it fixed either with me if they're one of my fencers or with their club armorer or coach later on.
Alright everyone, so we are now in the afternoon. I've just finished lunch. It's been a busy morning. We've had a lot of reels fail, we've had a lot of pieces that need to be kicked back into place, and we actually have a reel that we discovered the cable is only about 13 meters long inside, so it is way too short for them to go all the way down to the other end of the piece if they flesh or anything like that. So one of my armorers is currently working on fixing that one while the others continue to do checks during the day. But yeah, so FA is finishing up, I believe, and then we're going to get started on everything else. So a little bit of a fun fact, we just got a severe thunderstorm warning issued to us. So fingers crossed that that just kind of passes over. I guess we'll see. But yeah, interesting times, and we're just going to keep going. Okay everyone, so as you can see, we are done with the pool here. So this piece has been having constant grounding problems, basically just as the FAS are moving around. They're big, they're strong, the plates are coming slightly separated, so we're having grounding issues. I am going to try to kick it really, really well together and maybe throw some tape down to hold it and see if we can't get it to stop moving. But I'm going to take advantage of the fact that no one's on it right now and see what we can do. Alright, so Raymond, here's the trick. So you just lift it up a little bit, drop it down, and then put it in. And on the count, okay? So 3, 2, 1, go! And 3, 2, 1. And we're going to drop this down. everyone. We'll see how well that holds. Overall, I'm pretty certain the piece crunched back together about ½ inch on either side, which for metal plates that shouldn't move is a lot. So fingers crossed that holds a little bit better. Alright everyone, the saga of the reels continue. I promise this is a different one. I think this is what? How many reels have you now done, Raymond?
3.
Okay. So this one is again standard issue. The end has a break, so he's just cutting it back to expose some fresh wire that doesn't have any breaks and is going to resolder it into the end here. You can tell that our workstation has become a bit of a disaster, but that's what happens when we're in it. And then over here, we discovered that our reel is really, really short. So we have a fresh cable and we're just waiting to put it back together because that's going to be a much more time-intensive process.
Okay everyone, this is a little bit late, but this is my process for checking somebody's equipment. So I don't really care what pieces I start with, I will just have to get through everything at once. Some armorers prefer a certain order, some don't, it's just really up to the individual. But basically, I first start looking at the safety aspect of a mask, because that to me is the most important. If it doesn't work for a tournament, you can still use it in practice if it is safe to use. But if it's not safe, you should just get rid of it immediately, or maybe put it on your dummy. So both of these are good, both in terms of safety as well as function. So those are both stamped, and then this fencer had 2 sets of everything, so I am laying down their lames right on top of each other. It just saves a little bit of time so I can check through one to the other. So do the front and the collar, making sure all of it works. And then we flip to the back, same thing, making sure to check the tab as for the head cord as well as the collar. And in particular with older lames, if there's any sort of discoloration that I see, I'm going to check those. As well as on the safety side of things, I look for any seams that might be ripping, or if the zipper doesn't close properly, if the Velcro is not in great shape, anything like that. So same thing, all of that looks good, making sure that it functions. I want lames to be, I was being nice at this tournament, recognizing most people hadn't been fencing for a while, and saying under 5 ohms, but the official rule I believe is under 2. And then we switch to gloves, since this fencer is a foilist, it's just making sure all the seams are together properly so it's safe to use, telling them where the stamp is so they can easily show it to the referees. But yeah, check between the fingers, check the front and the back, check the
Alright everyone, more exciting life of the armorers. So this is Russell, who is helping us out today. So right now he is currently holding the wire, about 12 meters of it, that came out of an old reel. Obviously too short for the reel, but what we're going to do right now, in the spirit of zero waste, is we have this floor cord that is both broken and only about 7 meters long. So really not very useful right now. So what Russell's going to do is take the ends off of this one and put it onto this cable. And while yes, it won't work for tournaments, it should be okay for practice, and it saves the club a bit of money as well as saves a little bit from the landfill. So there's a quick idea for you. If you have a little bit of cable left but not enough for a reel, maybe you could get some practice floor cords out of it.
medal ceremony for veteran women's sport and U13 women's skater included
That's better? That's about the best I can get it without
Alright everyone, so just a quick explanation of that last bit. So a lot of the time these pieces are moving around, they go sideways against each other, and that can lead to tripping hazards, as well as not great connection. So I was just trying to whack them really quickly back into place. Obviously the best way to go about it would be to peel them up and relay them. We do not have time for that. I do not have the people for that. So next best thing is a rubber mallet and a bit of percussive maintenance. So that should hold for the next little while, and then I might have to go replace it again, but we'll deal with that when we get there. Okay everyone, it is just before 8 o'clock. Our very last bout of the day is on. All of the other pieces are squared away at this point, just need to do a final double check of that one. And then we are set for the day. So ran a little bit later than we had initially anticipated, but not too horribly. And again, overall today has been pretty smooth. Everything has been the organized chaos that I have come to expect. And then tomorrow we've got a couple reels to fix, some more body cords to fix, and yeah, we're gonna just keep going on. So thanks for coming along so far everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.